The goal today is to talk about how to increase the lead response so that you can get about 20% more of your leads to convert to demos. Now, if you look at just the flow of your business, generate the lead, the setters are calling them to try and generate an appointment, then they go to meet with the closer or salesperson gets them to commit to buy. Anywhere we can improve the conversion metrics is going to improve the bottom line. And so we're going to focus right now on how do we get more of your leads to generate an appointment. Hey, this is Trent with YetiConnect. I want to talk to you about the difficulty that a lot of businesses have with getting a lead to schedule an appointment that converts to a customer, and how we're sorting that time frame as well as increasing the conversion that lowers your cost to acquire a customer. There's a lot of difficulty right now in getting people on the phone, especially if you're in sales, if you're a setter. You understand that more and more people have filters on their phones. Their phones are designed to block unknown callers. Phone carriers have made it to where if you're not registered properly, it shows spam likely on that caller ID. So there's a lot of things that are happening that make it more and more difficult today as a setter to prospect and to get people on the phone. I'm going to share a strategy today that works really well in increasing your call connection rate, increasing the number of people that schedule and book an appointment, and even those you don't talk to on the phone, how we get them to self-schedule using a few strategies and tactics. Connecting with leads in a personal way is very important, especially if you have a high value, high ticket sale or product or service. And people aren't necessarily answering their phone easily without first feeling like they know you, like you, and trust you. And so there's some things that we're doing to seed in and produce that ability to get them to know you without talking to you on the phone first. And that's something that's very important today, since it is harder to get the people to answer the phone and to actually have a conversation. So later on, I'm going to talk about how do you bypass the filters on the phone. There's a strategy we use that allows you to get your call to show up, even if you're an unknown sender in their contacts. The goal today is to talk about how to increase the lead response so that you can get about 20% more of your leads to convert to demos. Now, if you look at just the flow of your business, generate the lead, the setters are calling them to try and generate an appointment, then they go to meet with the closer or salesperson gets them to commit to buy. Anywhere we can improve the conversion metrics is going to improve the bottom line. And so we're going to focus right now on how do we get more of your leads to generate an appointment, to become an appointment. Now with HubSpot and Yeti Connect, we're going to talk about the tools together and how they make it even more effective for generating more appointments with the same number of leads you're generating right now. We're going to use the hypothetical scenario here where you're a software company that sells a construction-based software for the construction industry, and you have an average value of a customer of $10,000 a year or more. So if you have a customer value that's higher than like $3,000 to $5,000 a year, you're probably going to do some sort of phone sales or outbound sales to generate a customer, as that value makes sense to then invest in a salesperson or a setter. So if that's your business, continue watching. We'll help you understand how to improve that metric. But really the goal here is to make it so that the money you're spending on marketing is more effective without spending more money on marketing. So marketing rule number 19, I'm going to start with that, is you lead generate how you know you're going to sell. What that means is if I'm going to sell by phone, text, email, and I'm going to mail something out in a physical mail, I'm going to have to probably get more than just an email address from that prospect. So when I'm lead generating, I might think about what is a high value deliverable, whether it be a video, a PDF, something of value or perceived value to that person I'm talking to, my target market, not the general market. What is something of high perceived value that I can offer to them that they would be willing to give me their name, their email, and their phone number, and maybe permission to even text them. With the texting laws nowadays, you have to ask for permission to text explicitly. You can't just get their number and assume they're giving you permission to text. So one of the things that we did was, one of my businesses generated 100,000 leads on Facebook. And the first part of that, we were kind of getting a low opt-in rate, less than 48%. But over time, we got up to 85% of people said, yes, you can text me, and give us a valid phone number. Now, here's the big shift here. We had the same call to action, the same lead magnet, the same deliverable, a PDF and a video, but we changed the wording of the question for the opt-in on the form. We simply went from, can we send you more information by text? 48% said yes, 52% said no, to then, we got up to 85% by then asking instead, can we send you this video and PDF immediately by text? Now we're including the permission to text with the deliverable of the thing they want, and they always want it immediately. So by saying, can we send it to you immediately? Yes, I want it now. And the thing I promised, the text, the PDF or the video, and the medium by text, By getting that text opt-in, it is a compliant text opt-in because I get permission to text them, and I get a high percentage of people to say yes versus saying, can I text you? Nobody wants you to text them, but if I'm going to send you something immediately, it's high perceived value, you're probably going to say yes. So now that's the first part of the strategy, is identifying how do we get our leads to come in with a text opt-in so I can actually use phone, text, and email to get that lead to convert to an appointment. Now, 85% of our leads are coming in, they're saying, yes, you can text me. I'm going to segment them differently than those that say, no, you can't text me. They're going to go into an email and phone only follow-up campaign, whereas those that actually give me permission to text are going to go into our full campaign where we're going to text, email, call them, and try to get them to get on the phone with us. Now, as an SDR, as a setter, you're probably thinking about how do I generate more appointments by text message versus just by phone? Because you can call people day and night. If they don't answer, it doesn't matter. They're not going to hear your message, not going to see your message. But if I am focused on messaging them properly and the right medium, I get higher percentage of people to respond. So what I do is, those that say, yes, you can text me, initially I'm going to send them a text message that's automated because I want them to get something quickly. The faster I can get them information, the promised deliverable, the text message with a video link or a PDF link, that's going to get them the thing that they wanted. But then I'm going to follow up as a personal follow-up as a salesperson or setter, where I'm going to have a video that goes out to them. So what we do in YetiConnect is we have a video task that's created. And so I can have as a workflow action, send the text, the first part of the workflow, delivered from Yeti. And then second, I'll have a video task that's created. So on my mobile app, I can pull up my phone and I see I have a task that's created and assigned to me to send a video to a new prospect. So the context is there if it's a new prospect or it's a pre-appointment video. I might want to send a video before an appointment. That's going to show up on my device. I click on that and I record the video. Hey, Mike, this is Trent with XYZ software, and I want to text you and let you know I got your information here. I saw that you're in this industry. I sent you that PDF and the video. I want to make sure you got that. Also, there's a cool strategy I was thinking of that might work well for your company. Let me know a couple of times it might work for you for a call where we can jump on and talk about that. You can text me back or click the link in the text message below. That video is done. It took me less than a minute to record it. And then I go on to the next one. If I got multiple leads a day coming in, I'm recording these quick videos. And this personal approach where they see my face in a video delivered by text message increases that personal approach where they feel like this is someone that I might like, know, and trust, simply because I took the time to send them a personal video, say their name, and connect with them in that way. So by adding this into our lead process, sure, we're using automation. I love automation, use the power of automation, but we're also bringing in the human connection part by having an individual send a video, say the person's name, and do that when they get a new lead. Now, the third thing I'm going to do is going to help increase the likelihood of me getting on the phone with them is about 30 minutes to an hour later, I'm going to try a third contact attempt. If they haven't called me back, texted me, or answered the phone when I called them after that video, then I'm going to try a third contact attempt. And this is when we use the pre-call text. So with the pre-call text, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the contact. I'm going to click on the phone number and call right here. And when I call them, we're using YetiConnect to call. I'm going to make an outbound call. And before I do, with the dialer pad here, I can select to send them a text message as a pre-call text. What this means is I've pre-written a message. I can select it from the drop-down, one of many different messages. But this is a new lead from Facebook. I might have a specific message about, hey, I saw you requested information on Facebook. I sent it to you a little bit ago. Also sent you a video. Don't know if I'm getting you on the right time, but you can also call or text me back on this number. I'll be calling you shortly as I want to share something with you that'll be a good strategy to implement for your business. And now I have that pre-call text is being sent out with their first name merged into it. I click on this button, and then I might have a few leads I'm going through. I might go through a few leads and do this, and then go back to the top of my list and I start calling these leads once it's been a couple of minutes since I sent that text. By doing the pre-call text and then sending them, then making a phone call to them a few minutes later, I'm increasing the chance that they're going to actually answer their phone. Because by doing the pre-call text, they are going to see the text message from my same number that I'm calling on. Then when I call them, it's more likely they're going to recognize the number. Now, the secret to unlocking the phone, let's say you called them a couple times, they didn't answer, but you do have a question going out the next day. That's an automated text message that says, hey, Mike, just checking in to see if you have any questions. By the way, what market are you guys primarily focused on? By asking this question, it's kind of generic, kind of open-ended, or even if you want to ask a simple yes/no question, by getting them to respond to a text message, what happens is you're effectively telling their device, they're telling their device, hey, this is someone I trust, I want to communicate with. So now next time I call them, if I sent them my V card as part of an attachment with my first text, or if I sent my name saying, hi, this is Trent, their device recognizes and picks that up. And now when I call them again, it says maybe Trent. So my future calls and text messages to them will seem like it's coming from someone that they might know. And by doing this, now we've effectively unlocked their phone from blocking us as an unknown caller. And now we're a known person that they've interacted with by text. So now by text and phone in the future will come up as someone they possibly know. Now, the importance of this is getting them to respond to a message in the first 2 to 3 text messages is critical to get them to actually start engaging. Oftentimes we'll find setters can close or schedule more appointments by text message than they can by phone, simply because of people being busy, not being able to get to their phone calls throughout the days they're working, or they have their device set to where their calls are just being screened and forwarded if you're not a contact that's known in their contact book. Now the key here for us is to make sure that as a setter, we're focusing on those 3 things: speed to lead, making sure that I'm sending a personalized video and that they can connect with me as a human. And that's something that no one else is doing. I stand out. I seem like someone that's personable, approachable. The more casual the background that I'm in, if I'm walking down the street, I'm driving my car, obviously paying attention to the road, picking up my kids from school, whatever it is I'm doing, as long as I'm very personal in that, it's going to come off as this is someone that I could probably talk to. This doesn't seem like a salesperson trying to sell me something or scam me. This seems like a real person. And by doing this, now your previous automated text messages feel more personal and more real, even though we're using automation to send them out. So something very important that is, if you're a setter or if you work in an organization that has setters, you're going to want to implement these strategies to help you to increase your lead to appointment rate, because you're going to generate more people responding by text and more people answering their phones. One thing we found out is that even if they don't answer their text, but I do a pre-call text and then try to call them, a lot of times out of being courteous, they'll send back a text message to my text saying, hey, I'm in a meeting right now. Can you call me after 4 p.m.? Or, hey, I'm interested still. I just haven't got a chance to watch it. I'll watch that later. Any response is great because it gives me information and feedback. I know that they're interested. And now I'm going to continue to focus my efforts on those leads that are at least engaging, responding. Whereas when I call and they don't answer, I have no way of really knowing. But once you've introduced texting into that, they have an easy medium to reply that doesn't have a high commitment. If I answer my phone, I know I'm going to be on a phone call. If I respond to a text, I'm not guaranteed that I have to engage with you in a text message conversation right then and there. I can choose to ignore that and come back to it later. So texting is the lower commitment way to communicate, but it also shows intent and allows us to focus our time and effort and energy on those clients or prospects that are showing interest by at least responding to our messages. Hopefully this was helpful. I do have another video I'm going to be working on that's going to talk about how do you boost your attendance or show up rate to your appointments. As a setter, oftentimes they are incentivized and paid based on the show up rate, not just a number of demos they set. And so increasing the number of people that show up for set appointments is very important for the business as well as for the setter and the closer. So we want to talk about strategies to implement that take very little time to set up, mostly can be automated, and a very little bit of time of the setter, whether 3 to 5 minutes out of their time during that time period from setting the appointment to actually having the appointment, they invest in following up with the person that's going to be on the appointment to make sure they show up. So we'll talk about that later. If you're interested in that video, text the word boost to 858-800-4552. So that's boost to 858-800-YETI. And by texting us to that number, the word boost, we'll notify you of the next video that talks about how to increase your lead appointment to appointment show up rate. And then if you're watching this video later, you can still text that number. We'll have an automated reply go back with the link to that video. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have more questions or want to chat with anyone on our team to help you set up some of these strategies, go ahead and go to YetiConnect.com and you can chat with our team on the website, or you can text 858-800-4552 or call us on that line and set up a time to help you with a one-on-one screen share to go over setting up your workflow, setting up in Yeti to make sure everything works for you.